So I'm just starting off by applying some moisturizer to the face. This is just to help all of the foundation set properly, and so that when the foundation goes on and the powder goes on, her face doesn't look dry and cracked. Now I'm getting my concealer. As you can see, I have a color wheel, and I'm just getting the pink part of my color wheel, and I'm dabbing it under her eyes. That's just because to get rid of any darkness under the eyes and around the eyes. It's really good to start off with concealer, because then when you put the foundation on afterwards, it blends the concealer into the skin nicely, and the eyes and any imperfections like pimples or scars or pigmentation are well covered by the concealer. So because our model doesn't have any prominent pimples or scarring or anything like that, the only place I'm applying the concealer is around her eyes, because she does have a little bit of darkness around them. But if she were to have pimples and whatnot, I would just go through and dab the concealer over them too. It might look a bit silly at this stage, but in the long run, it really looks good. Now that the concealer's all set, I've also applied the foundation. The video doesn't capture it, but the foundation's been evenly applied. Now I'm going through with a powder. It's just a very light powder just to set the foundation and everything on her face, so I have a nice clear canvas to work with. So I'm just going through with the powder. Now I've started the contouring, so I've come through with an angled brush and some dark powder. I've gotten her to make a duck face, and I'm just following the natural hollows of her cheeks with this dark brown powder and coloring in those hollows. This is to give the illusion of a more defined cheekbone and also a slimmer face. I'm doing her temples and the sides of her chin just to give the illusion of a more oval face. That's the goal with contouring. And now I'm just getting a big fluffy brush, and I'm just blending in the dark powder into her skin so that when you look at it from the side, it doesn't look like a harsh line. It looks nicely blended, very soft, and a little bit more natural. So see, you can see here that it's a bit darker, but it's not a harsh line. Now I'm just getting some more light powder and applying it under her eyes. It's just to make her under eyes even more lighter, and on stage that will really stand out. It's important to just apply it evenly under the eyes, and I also like to go up into her forehead area as well with that light powder. That's just to give it a little bit more lightness. It's called highlighting. It's a little bit more complex, but just for dance makeup and for the purpose of this tutorial, it's fine to just put it under the eyes and on the forehead. Skipping forward, the eyeshadow's been placed on. All I really did was just put the gold in her inner eyelid and the dark blue on her outer eyelid, and I also got a thin brush called a creasing brush and placed the blue on her crease as well. I did it as simply as possible. You just place it as I've done, and then you get a nice fluffy brush and you just blend it all into the eye so that it doesn't look like a sharp line. You just kind of very slightly blend it. Then you get your concealer, the same concealer that you used for her under eyes, except instead of it being pink, you just get a normal foundation color, and you apply it again to her brow bone. That's once again to highlight the brow bone so that her eyebrows look nicely defined and her eyes stand out. Now I'm just getting sellotape and I'm placing it under her eyes, and that's just so that when I do the eyeliner, I don't go below her natural eye line. So I've just placed the sellotape under the eyes, and now I'm going to go through with an eyeliner. It's actually a liquid eyeliner. The one I use is Revlon Color Stay Precision Liner, and you start off in the middle of the eyelid. So that is how you determine how thick you want the eyeliner to be, and then when you're happy with that, you go into the inner eyelid and you slowly bring that through. It's important that you start off very thin on the inner eyelid, and then you bring that through to the middle area, the middle portion of the eyelid, and make it thicker. And then when you're happy with that, you can take it through to the side of her outer lid, and if you want, you can create a flick. Because this is dance makeup and I wanted it to be quite defined, I have just taken the line out, kind of like an ancient Egyptian style look. And I'm just gonna do that to the other eye now. So you can take the eyeliner out as much as you want, but I've just chosen to kind of keep it a fair length, as kind of as long as her eyes are. And now I'm just going through with mascara. First you have to do the bottom lash line, and then you do the upper lashes. But before you do the upper lashes, you get them to look down and you go over the top of their eyelashes with the mascara to get rid of any kind of drop down from the eyeshadow. When you're happy with that, then you go through and you curl their upper lashes. Now to finish with the eye area, I'm gonna be lining her eyebrows. So I have an angled brush here, and I'm just using a dark brown shade, and I'm going through and just coloring in her natural brow line. So I'm not, changing the shape or anything like that. I'm just going through and coloring it in so that it looks more defined, and immediately you can see a difference. Especially for stage makeup, it's really important to get this right, because from afar you can really, it doesn't look as dramatic as it does so up close. It looks really good from afar. But again, make sure you follow the natural eyebrow line. So now that the eyes and the actual skin is done, I'm just going through and doing the last portion of the makeup, that is her lips. So I have a lip liner here, and I'm lining her lips. I'm going to do it quite thick, and then I'm going to go through and color her lips in with the lip liner. Now that's just to hold the lipstick for longer, and it also provides a kind of lip stain for if the lipstick does come off. Especially for if she's going to need the makeup on for a long time, it's important to have that. It's a very small trick, but it goes a long way. And just make sure if you do, miss the lines and whatnot, that you go through and correct it, because you don't want her to have jagged lips. And finally, just go through with the lipstick. Use a nice red tone and go over what you lined with the lipstick, just to give it that extra thickness. So that's how you do your stage makeup for Bollywood Dance. As you can see, our dancer now has strong features that won't be washed out by the harsh stage lights, and her expressions will stand out from afar while she's performing. So thank you all for watching, good luck, and have fun at your performances.